Welcome to RacingRant's last free show. The preview of Tattersalls Day at Randwick, and Roy, brother of Keg, has returned to fill Glenn Pollitt's shoes. Glenn's at Frank's funeral this morning and probably, well, maybe not getting to Wyong later, but Wyong Cup Day, we'll have a word about Wyong at the end of part one, I think. Now, Randwick is still pretty dry and they're even irrigating it today.
So we don't even need to introduce Roy anymore?
No,
he's so much of a regular. It doesn't matter, does it?
Third show, he's like, you know, he's almost a permanent.
Mr. Randwick.
He's on,
Mr. Randwick, yeah, we give him the tough gig still.
That's it.
Yeah.
So a fortnight ago we had high winds and they couldn't actually put any water on Randwick the day before, and it raced very fast. Obviously the wind was up their backs. They will put some water on today, which could be slightly interesting, but anticipating dry weather with probably a southerly airstream again. Rail out 6 metres. Talk to me about your experience of Randwick a fortnight ago.
Oh, I think I'm back in love with Randwick. Everything's fine now. They've fixed it up. Track's dried out.
You mean God fixed it up?
Yeah, that's right. He's done his job, and the track's dried out. It's all good now. Obviously, it was an advantage to be leading at the last meeting there. I think it'll probably play similar tomorrow. I want to be on pace tomorrow, but I don't think it'll be as bad as last time without those high winds.
Yeah. I look.
So you're back in love because you won?
I just think it dried out. Yeah. You know, in winter it just, well, actually for the first half of the year it had trouble drying out. Yeah. And now that we've had a bit of a mini drought and those winds that picked up, it's back to normal. So.
Well, it was the first dry track I had at Randwick since Melbourne Cup Day last year. So.
Yeah.
But expecting dry tomorrow. Now we kick off with once again a very interesting 3-year-old race, and haven't they been good? Haven't they? The 3-year-olds. The 3-year-old races on all our programs are the ones that go to.
Oh, they're the go-to betting races for sure.
And look, they're the ones.
I wasn't sure whether that just suits my style as well. You know.
Oh, no, they're exciting horses because they've only had a handful of starts, so they're not too convicted. And do you like betting on them, Roy?
Oh, lovely, yeah. This is a good race.
All right, well, hopefully you like betting on this one. Beau Jest, $2.70 and favourite. $4.40 is Super X, $7 Andaz, $9 Merivale, $9.50 Island Missile, $10 Dissolution, $13 Albumin, and $16 the filly Devolving, who has scratched from the Furious to run here. This is 1,300 metres, and Albumin looks likely to take it up. He pounced on the lead at Canterbury last time, and I can see him doing similarly tomorrow. Had Andaz on the speed, Super X not far away. Beau Jest doesn't give away his draw. Island Missile midfield. I had the other 3 going back. Now, the first point I want to raise about this race is that it's 1,300, and we've got horses appearing here that have 1,100 metres in their previous preparations. Do you find that odd, resuming at 13, particularly the favourite I'm talking about, Beau Jest?
I find it incredibly odd.
All right, so Roy, what's your opinion on this favourite?
Oh, he's trialled up well, there's no doubt about it. He trialled with Kementari the other day, and we trialled in similar fashion, so that's a good wrap.
I'd say I'd even marginally give it to Beau Jest off the trial.
Yep, okay. Yeah. But in saying that, we haven't seen Kementari come back yet, so perhaps
it's not proven yet, is it? Everybody's talking this high, but it hasn't done it yet. And
sometimes horses can come back a bit dour. Maybe it was a bit dour in the trial. So, you know, but look, we'll see when we see Kementari, but it certainly trialled well. And I've got to say, the form out of that race that it won at Canterbury hasn't been anything spectacular.
I actually backed him on that day. I took pre-post odds, and as it turned out, it started a lot longer. It started quite long, $7. I think it was $8 on the fair. And it box seated, got the dream run, got the job done.
It did hit the line well, didn't it?
Yeah, it attacked the line.
Yeah.
Last Starfighter came off leading in that race to go back to the tail and flash home in the Saturday race. Yeah,
and look, I mean, it ran reasonably well after that, but I wouldn't say it's a hot form race that it won Beau Jest, I guess.
No, and it is also Canterbury. It's a circle race. So
okay, enough of all that greying. It's an absolute moral. Number 3, Beau Jest.
But hang on, it is like it's 1,100 up to 1,300 with a spell in between.
There's 2 question marks. 1,300 first up and barrier 1. They're the only question marks. This is
Well,
clearly
fuck
the best
you. I've
horse
got
in the
this
race.
fourth pick. It's no moral.
Okay, well, it's a moral for me. I'm super impressed with its style. I love the last 100 metres at Canterbury. It looked to me like it didn't handle the tight turning track, and when it did balance up, it absolutely rattled like a top quality horse. It'll be better suited at Randwick. There's only those 2 question marks I mentioned. Other than that, I am super keen on number 3, Bogest.
All right, so so dismiss some of the opposition, Gord, here, because Super X was super impressive the other day, and Snowden's got another horse there in Island. Snowden's got a horse there in Island Missile that is flying below the radar. He's a big improver.
Okay,
we've got this bloody touted Merivale who's got the pedigree to be a world beater, and he's in his 2nd preparation. And we've also got the other Waller horse that's unbeaten, looks to have done a good job in his 2 runs in Melbourne.
Do you want me to? Well, the only 2 that I'm entertaining that could possibly beat it are 6 Super X and 7 Devolving. Obviously, not a fan of that stable with Devolving, so that's going to get a pen job. And then if you interrogate Super X's form, I know it's been reasonably dynamic, but well, its Witten was last start, but it only just got the job done against Catesby, who came out and only just got the job done in a provincial race. So I'm saying that it's Saturday grade, but maybe nothing more, and I think that Bogest could be a group horse.
Roy.
I'm going to say they look the 2, Bogest and Super X, and at the price I'm leaning a Super X.
Okay.
I can concede that Super X is fully exposed now and all that sort of thing, but just at the prices, I think I'd lean his way. Not much in it.
4th up first prep.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, so I mean, but look, it's been super impressive at its last 2 wins. And of the others, I can see Devolving being a good roughie. Greener's Grass at Canterbury, it's got a lot to learn when it puts its mind on the job.
The way it was letting down, but I mean, Gord, you made mention of it that day. She was just, it looked like just bundles of talent.
Yeah, it's got ability.
So it did surprise me that she was quite so long, but I guess the price assessors are maybe penned Dark Hue as well.
And the jockey's, you know, not fashionable, is he?
Yeah, look,
So who'd you find, Mark? Who'd you find?
I found number 2, Andaz, unbeaten in 2, liked his trials, and felt that he was, well, I marked him 650, so I didn't find him.
Okay.
I think Bogest has obviously got a good chance. Island Missile, I think, is an underrated horse that will improve with every run. Super X has done the job. Devolving, you mentioned. Merivale, who won not much of a race at Beaumont, but has a platform there to do something. So that leaves 2 runners out. That's Albumin, who's a bit one-dimensional, but is 3rd up, finding the lead. You know, he's not going to fall over. And then you've got Dissolution, who was a bit disappointing first up, but is probably a lot better than that.
I thought that run was a bit disappointing, that Dissolution run.
Sorry to talk about every horse in the race, but
well, it's juicy, isn't it?
It is juicy.
It's a good race. Yeah. How come when I tip a Melbourne horse, it's controversial, and Mark tips one, you don't say boo?
I was about to say something.
Okay.
He was leaving it for you, Roy.
Okay. Look, I just had a question mark next to the horse, so because I mean it has had the 2 trials in Sydney, so
yep.
Yeah.
Quiet trials, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Race 2, 2,000 metres. $2.05 up and rolling. $6 Vaucluse Bay, $8 Admiral Jello, $8 Multifacets, $12 Roman Sun, $15 Wangwa, $21 My Giuliano heads the others. Steady in terms of speed. Multifacets looks the leader, if you can ever say that. Vaucluse Bay may be ridden a little bit more aggressively tomorrow. He's on the backup. There's really nowhere for him to go, so we may as well try something.
Sure.
Up and rolling looks to box seat, which could be tricky in a muddling race.
Plymouth Road won't be far away. I think he'll be a bit more forward maybe this time.
Okay. But look, you know, nothing extreme about this race.
No.
Obviously, we've got the typical Waller set. What have we got? 4 runners of the 9. Do you want to take it up?
No.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Well, it's the wrong price, up and roll. It'll start $1.70.
Yes. Well, so you're just trying to mimic brother last week who just got on and said,
finding the firmers, wasn't
he just got on there and he said this is the wrong price, the Matthew Dunn horse, and it started like I don't know, a lot shorter. And then he got in there and said that the Melbourne horse that Waller, the stayer,
I would have got myself into trouble as well because I would have disagreed with him. So there you go.
Yeah, but you're on here for your tip score, not your not your market prognostications.
Was that much longer than it. But anyway.
What's that? Which one?
Mossman George.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's an astute point as well. But he did say that it would start a lot shorter, and it did. Yeah. So yes, look, and I have to agree with you here, Roy. He should start, significantly into the red here.
Yeah, definitely.
He's lightly raced. He's the only horse that anyone could sort of rally to.
Yeah.
Is he a moral?
Yeah, he's a moral. Put the rent money on.
Yeah. Right, so you're back to form. Like that second Randwick meeting that you did, you were sort of like,
all's good with Randwick now.
Yeah.
Couple of wins and everything's fine.
Yes.
Only danger I could see would be Roman's Son. Promising stayer. I know it's had a break. Wouldn't say it's first up.
He's doing weird shit, Anthony. He does this all the time. It's very annoying, but
I'm happy to save on it though because it won at Warwick Farm and got caught in behind the ruck. Didn't have momentum. I like stayers when they win races and they, get held up and then get the job done. Yeah. And it's won 3 straight. It's done nothing wrong.
Yeah. It's in its second preparation.
It's the only knockout. The other one's just about awesome.
Yeah, Gordo, you there?
Oh, I just all agree. Yeah, I will be betting in the race. I'll be backing up and rolling.
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm betting a 2,000 metre race.
8. I also said 8 from 9, and
by the way, Multifacet's trial was all right. I did
but it's just such a. We spoke about the form from that race where Vaucluse Bay had the cardiac arrhythmia, and then King Viv and Multifacets and Not a Gypsy. They've
usual suspects.
They've not distinguished themselves last week. But it's there. It's there. Race 3. Tricky. I found this race a bit perplexing. Where do we start? $2.90 Jaminza. Last time I saw him was at Warwick Farm on the 7th of January. He couldn't get out of his own road. $3.90 more to gain. $7 Maracaba, $7.50 Embley, $8 Miami-Dade. Tells you the strength of the race. $11 Mandalong Kiss. 15 All But Gone, 17 Zinzanetti. What a team here. And also a walking race. Zinzanetti, Miami-Dade, perhaps Maracaba from the leader's draw there. Embley pulled his way forward the other day. Not sure what the intentions will be there. Roy, did you have any thought on how this race might be run? Yeah,
I think Embley will lead today. It all just went wrong the other day. It hasn't been getting out of the gates that quick, so I think the booking of Kerry McAvoy will change all that. And I think it'll go the lead. I think it'll get a soft lead, and I'm happy to bet around both favourites in this. A little bit left field. I'm going to back Embley and Maracaba, and you did touch on Maracaba going forward. I thought maybe 1 out, 1 back here with the change in jockey to Avdallah, the stronger jockey. Look, I'm not bagging Jaminza. But it gets a long way back in its races. I know this horse. It used to race in Sydney, then went down to Melbourne. Yeah. I mean, it's been going well, but I just think in this race there's a bit of value in...
The form behind it out of those 2 Flemington races has been decent, but I didn't like its style.
Yeah, it gets a long way back in its races.
And it seems to have to try really hard to get into the race.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a pretty weak race. So it's
an extremely weak race. Yeah. And we had the situation where More to Gain, the trainer scratched a fortnight ago, even though the track wasn't described as a 2, but the stewards allowed her to scratch. I can't imagine the track's any wetter. Will it start?
I'll leave that to others.
Will it start? Oh, there you go. Diplomatic. D-key, we're going to call you. I have to agree, Roy. Embley, I marked half his current price.
You mentioned the 3 starts. Remind me. So it didn't jump well in any of the 3 starts.
Yeah, I just think that
this
is such a but I think this is a slow race, and I think it's sort of D-Day.
Won't matter.
It's sort of D-Day, I think, for it. If you go back and watch it, forget the last run. They came home in 33 seconds in that last race. It's a nothing race that coming through as far as some of those out the back in that race. It was a jog. If you go back and watch its previous run, there wasn't much difference between it and More to Gain that day.
Well,
it was badly held up behind Embley.
I have to say More to Gain had
he got the charm run through, and Embley was badly held up out the back that day.
Yeah.
This is going to be a different style of race. He'll go forward on Embley, I reckon, tomorrow, and More to Gain will be out the back. And I think Embley and certainly Maracubar, I mean, what a jockey change Avdallah today from the track work boy. It's huge.
Right stages prep too. Looks like
forward
the target
tomorrow.
for this
Forward
horse.
tomorrow.
Singing from the same song sheet.
They're
here.
both good odds.
Gord, have you got anything to offer about this race? It is a it's one of those, it's potentially one of those pass races, unless you
it's a pass race.
You get all tricky and
If
clever like
yeah,
Rory.
I know. Yeah, if I,
You know, like,
if you got to
ooh.
think as hard as that, I'd suggest don't bet in the race.
Yeah, but it's one of those situations where when you come up with something like that and it comes off, then the ego is like it's super.
I tell you what, it elevates you far more than it should.
All right.
Because if it doesn't come off, you just go, oh well, it was one of those weird races anyway. So you're on a winning to nothing.
That's
you know?
right. That's right. Yeah, but it is a weird race. So now we've got a very good-looking highway with the standard Matthew Dunn Queensland, Southeast Queenslander Count Cumani. He's favoured at $4.80. $6 Superstar Bob, $7.50 My Tagger Son, $7.50 Schedule, $7.50 McPhee Lass. $13 Last Try Wins, $16 Mr Marmalade, scratch from Goulburn today, $17 Mr Pumblechook, $21 Snowbrook, Mr Collins Creek, who has been tallying them up at Warwick and Ipswich, $18. Field size should give us good tempo here. I've got Mr Pumblechook going well forward, Critical Touch, Bonsley should he run, Valknut is a 1,000-metre horse that should be on speed, Collins Creek from the deep, and Snowbrook also on the speed. Gordo, you're the highway man. Firstly, talk to us about this Matthew Dunn horse that started 50-1 2 starts back.
Yeah, well, I penned it, but I was going to ask Roy a little bit more. It just seemed, you know, like I look at that and I go, I have no interest in you. And then I look at all the winners that Dunn's brought down to these highways and it's like,
Yeah.
this is exactly the same setup, you know? So I've told you, Mark, that I'm looking to sort of be against the Dunn horses in the highways because I think that they're overplayed by the market. And so I went in biased, but still had to be against it. As you say, Mark, like long odds in a shithouse 14.
Well, it has won again
race.
since, and it does seem to
and
be.
ran around $4 in that race as well.
It seems to be spiralling. Roy, have you got a take on this horse's form?
I think it's the one to beat. Lightly raced, Matt Dunn.
Yeah.
I watched the 2 wins. I mean, that win 2 back, that form's been quite good since.
Yeah.
There was a couple of winners out of that. And then last time, the pace was on at Ipswich, but it got the job done well. I think it's top pick in this, but I don't think it's a moral or anything like that. You know, I mean, I don't think it's over the line or anything. I think it's the one to beat. But it's a pretty tough sort of highway race. I wouldn't
There's
say...
a bit here, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't think there'll be anything starting short in this.
Well, there's one that's definitely going to be starting shorter because I'm going to be backing it.
That doesn't make them start shorter, Gord.
Well, that does at 9 in the morning, and then
Okay.
when the Smarties get involved, it blows again.
Which is good, so
And
you can
you bet
back it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, prices, not my go. 5 schedule, very keen. Yet again, lightly raced thing. That stable's on absolute fire at the moment. And I like the fact that it was pushed out in the 1,000-metre trial where it made up ground. And
It's turning into a bit of a Karen fest here.
Got a hit out in that trial.
yeah, I am Captain and Galaxy Warrior are 2 decent quality horses, and this horse has, like, recently done absolutely nothing wrong. Like, first up last preparation, won at Scone and beat Nickerbell, which is fairly decent form, and the horse that came third was Cleve Hill, which has had some really good form references in the bush and the provincial. So I'm loving that. I love the fact that it was pushed out. I love the fact that this stable's on fire. I love K-Mac on board. I love the fact that I thought $7.50 was on offer. It's definitely a bet for me.
Anything else you want to talk about, Roy?
Yeah, just a couple of horses here at odds I think can run a race.
He's getting, like, he's really seeking superstar status tomorrow.
Well, I think it's a more open highway than some of the highways we've seen lately. So there's a couple of horses here at odds that I thought were worth a try. If it gets to run this number 18 Bonsley, Good trial since its last run. And if you go back and watch its last run, I'd be surprised if you didn't think it should have won. It was in front with 75 metres to go and shied to the outside fence.
Yeah.
If it gets a run, you've got to be on it.
Okay.
There's a couple of other roughies here.
What price is it?
It's about 40 or 50 to 1.
51.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other horses here can run a race. Collins Creek, it did a good job there at Ipswich. It worked hard for that win. And just a couple others, General Harmony and...
Well, General Harmony's classic Pat Farrell. It is Pat Farrell, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, those horses that they pull their form out of nowhere.
Well, nobody's mentioned Macfie Lass.
Yeah, it's going well, Macfie Lass. There's
Roy's starting with the roughies.
Yeah,
he's working his way
I just
in.
think there's a couple of roughies in this. I think there's a couple of roughies here that you've got to be on. And just one more, Mr. Pummelchook, I thought was going well. But it's a pretty open race outside of the Matt Dunn horse being the top pick, I think.
So let's talk about Superstar Bob, who hasn't run in any highways this preparation. He's actually run in 2 races that he probably couldn't win.
What'd you make of that run last start, Mark?
Well, it was like he got lost. He just didn't know what he was doing.
Is this horse a 1600 metre horse or something?
If this horse hadn't had those 2 runs this preparation, I would have it clearly on top. But some pretty good people from the yard, both Glenn and another very famous person who's starting a new product, I must say, has told me that this horse is gone and needs to go for a spell.
Right.
It does interest me the fact that they gave it the trial. Obviously they're aware that something's wrong and they wanted to see it was going all right. The trial was all right.
Yeah.
Can I forgive those factors, that what I heard about the yard and its 2 runs? No, I can't. So make of that what you will.
Yeah, go on, good.
Well, Taggerson, won well last start, didn't it?
It pissed in.
I'm happy to be against
You
it.
don't like it coming back in distance?
I thought that was
perfectly.
a beautiful ride the other day. Yeah. I can't back it.
Still stylish.
Yeah, I left my Taggerson in. I said 4 from 9, 3 and 5. I think it's look, we've obviously made the case for a number of runners in this race, and I think it'll be a good betting race.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It's hard for me to mark the Dunn horse short because of its profile, even though he's got a standard Matthew Dunn profile. But such long odds, 2 starts back, I'm pushing hard. Right, we'll do one more race before a break. The Concord, 1,000 metres, and what a cracking little field this is. So Spieth is our favourite at $2.80, $3.50 Red Zell, $4.60 Nieta, 11 Super 2, 12 Felines, 16 the Monster. Now, I presume that Super 2 will be let loose. Red Zell will be camped on it, leaving the Monster 3rd the fence. Nieta, I have 1 out, 1 back. Spieth and Felines at the back. Any thoughts on that, Roy? That map?
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what's going to happen, and it'll just set it up for Spieth.
Right,
Super 2 will make Red Zell uncomfortable in front, or he'll have to drop in behind. I mean, Super 2, there's only one way to ride the horse. He's going to charge out.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I'm just...
It does that, yeah. It possibly does, but Red Zell's like pretty wound up. He's off the short Brisbane spell, and he's had 2
Matt Taylor
10,
spell,
50.
wasn't it? No.
Yeah, Matt Taylor spell.
Yeah.
Gee, don't miss
That's
any.
a good little pearl. That's
Yeah.
his most famous pearl.
I think he liked Waller runners though.
Yeah,
Waller runners,
yeah,
small, short Brisbane spell.
Oh, Snowden's even better trainer. So
has he got a job at Sky Channel yet after the sprue? No?
Don't think they listen.
Yeah, so Red Zell has interestingly had 2 long trials for a 1,000 metre race, which seems surprising, but that should mean there isn't a chink or a weakness there that Super 2 can somehow exploit.
Yeah, but I just think it sets up perfectly for Spieth, the way the race is going to be run myself.
All right, it is a
Spieth and the edge to a lesser 16.
It is a put up or shut up day for Spieth, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll go close to winning. Trial was outstanding. Raced handy in the trial too. I doubt he'd be that close tomorrow, but just showed that he's ready to go. He's a better horse than this, isn't he?
Well, we don't know. That's my point. I won't be backing him.
Okay.
Because for me, he's not proven himself yet.
He's got a few knockers, this horse. I don't know why.
I know why. Well,
I think his run subsequent to the Lightning last preparation were a bit deflating.
Okay. Well,
Massive
one of them was a heavy,
sprue
wasn't it?
course that they're all saying is probably the best sprinter in Australia. That's what a lot of people are saying.
Oh,
and
I wouldn't go that far,
your
but yeah.
last win is bloody, you know, against Kaepernick and Le Cordon Bleu.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's have a look at what Red Zell's been doing.
Yep.
Second to English, that's proper stuff.
Yep.
Second to Russian Revolution, that's proper stuff.
What about winning last start?
Winning last start at Doom and Short Break, not happy with the 2 trials, would have preferred one. For me, Red Zell on top.
You're second guessing the trainer.
But
Second guessing our best trainer.
Snowden,
I'm
he's your
absolutely
man.
in love with Snowden. I would.
I can't catch him.
I would turn gay for Pete for sure.
What about
He's
Paul?
No, I saw him the other day. A bit too big for me. He'd squashed me, I think. He's been putting on some weight, hasn't he? You seen him?
Yeah, well, he's a good doer.
Him and Darren Beaton have been hanging out, I reckon. Yeah, so I'm going to go with what I think is the tried performing horse.
Yep.
Against the sprue course.
Okay.
But it is, you know, a match race with a third candidate.
But the thing is, I don't like the fact that the sprue course actually maps better than my tried horse. You know what I mean? There's some tricky stuff. Probably won't bet in the race, but if they did really come for Spieth and I got some sort of a price for Red Zell, I'd be backing it.
Nieta, talk to us about her trials, because she was a little bit hollow first up last time, and then that crazy track at Scone upset her.
Trials are outstanding. He's ready to go. Raced handy in the trials, race close to the lead. I think he's the only danger to Spieth, or main danger to Spieth. I mean, I can see Red Zell is going to have.
I don't see it being any danger.
Right, so Nieta, sorry.
I think the two of them will sit back and run over the top of him here.
All right.
Unless it's a hot leaders track, but.
Where are you going, Mark? What are you saying?
I'm just asking you for an opinion on Nieta's trials, because you are the Nieta man.
Oh yeah, for me, just below these other horses. The trials are absolutely sensational.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as standard is concerned, you know? Could be wrong because it's lightly raced, so you don't know, you know, what's in the bottom of it yet. But I'd say even with the way that ridiculous track was playing, it's going. I mean, you got beaten by Quatronic.
Dead to you. She's dead to you.
Can I forgive that? You only just beat Iams Lady and Super Maxi.
You've broken up.
We're broken up.
No,
it's bitten off a little bit more than it can chew.
All I'll say is that I have marked 1 and 3 the same price. Okay, that's race 5. Just before we go the end of part 1, Wyong Cup Day today, of course, and which of you two guys is launching into the Mona Lisa?
I think we're both backing the same horse, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I think it's been a bit of a firm this morning, has there?
Yeah, overnight, I think.
Yeah, okay. So Louboutin we're pretty keen on. Well, you know, Mark and I thought it was going to win the
Oaks.
The Oaks.
It was the Oaks horse.
Because we loved that run at Kembla, wasn't it?
Yep.
The run at Kembla was absolutely sensational.
The run,
on a dry track.
Global Glamour run to begin with.
Yes,
the first one.
yeah. Like this horse might be a horse with some proper ability, and what it did first start was lovely, wasn't it?
Perfect.
So I'm rather keen on backing it for sure. Is there any others you guys like today?
No, I'm with you on. I think Louboutin's the bet.
Yeah.
And what do you say about $1.60, the favourite in the Cup?
No bet race. It's a distance race.
Same as good.
Well,
Looks the one, doesn't it?
It looks the one, but look, DIC did go particularly well on Saturday. And I want to say that Singing is a wild card here. I don't normally tip stayers first up, but this horse is alive in the race as far as I'm concerned. Aside from that, there is a horse, a 4-year-old mare that I think is travelling very well. Her name is High Tranquility, and she really stretched her neck out the other day when the other horse had the drop on her. I know it's only La Chat, but up against a fairly exposed team in the mile, thought High Tranquility could go on with the job. That's Wyong today. I hope you're playing and I hope you get something out of Wyong. We'll be back in part 2 with the quaddie legs from Winks Day, Chelmsford Day, Tattersalls Day at Randwick.